This conference will now be recorded.
Hi guys. So this is my third, I think fourth session, but one session I had repeated. So those who are new in this and who missed my last two sessions, so don't worry, I will cover that session. That is basically theory part. So now today I will discuss more about cluster and clusterware architecture. And if I get time, then I will start ASM architecture. Okay. So let's begin with this. So as we know that we have two types of stack. Okay. So can you tell me which one is upper stack and which one is lower stack?
Cluster
Any
ready
idea?
services. Cluster ready services is upper stacks.
Okay.
Oracle
And
high availability services would be the lowest stack.
okay, good. So this is, you can say, interview questions. One guy asked me in my interview. So basically in Oracle cluster where we have two separate stacks. One is upper stack, which is CRS daemon. You can call it as CRSD, and the full form is cluster ready services daemon. And lower stack is called as OHASD, Oracle High Availability Service Daemon. So basically, these two stack have several processes, and that basically help in the operations of RAC or clusterware, right? So CRS or CRSD is basically that manage cluster resources based on the configuration information. And configuration information is stored in which file? Any idea? Second interview question. Anyone can try, type it, or speak it. Better to try, type it.
CRS
No.
/etc.
No. Better
OCR.
to type it. So yeah, very good. Who is
OCR,
this?
OCR.
Yeah, OCR, OCR. So cluster configuration information basically stored in OCR for each resources. So this basically include the startup, stop, monitor, and failover operations. So whatever these type of operation, which basically stored in OCR, and cluster services or cluster ready services stack manage these resources. Okay. So the second thing, OHAS stack is responsible for what? It is for monitoring and managing or maintaining the high availability of Oracle ASM and Oracle Clusterware. Clear? So these are the work of two stacks. So CRS and OHAS, clear, or any doubt?
Can you please explain once again?
Okay. See, Oracle Clusterware has two physical stacks. One is upper stack and another one is lower stack. Upper stack basically called as Cluster Ready Services Daemon, CRSD, and lower stack basically OHASD, Oracle High Availability Service Daemon. So these two stacks is responsible for facilitate the clusterware, in which CRS basically manage the resources of the your cluster, and that resources configuration information is stored in OCR. So whenever CRSD wants to do anything, it will read the OCR, and this will include the startup, stop, monitor, and failover operations. And other OHASD basically responsible for monitoring and maintaining the high availability of Oracle ASM and Oracle Clusterware. So OHAS basically manage your Clusterware and sorry, ESM and Clusterware. Now clear?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. So basically, if you go to second slide, the components of CRS is basically these. One is cluster ready services, cluster synchronization services, Oracle ASM, cluster time synchronization service, event management, grid naming service, Oracle agent, Oracle notification service, Oracle root agent. So these are basically programs or services which is managed by CRS or CRSD. So basically CRSD manage cluster resources, as I said, based on the information that is stored in OCR for each resources. So CRS basically the first one will use the CRSD process which monitor the Oracle database instance, listener, and so on, and automatically restart these components when a failure occurs. Okay, so these things basically is managed by CRS, Cluster Ready Services. Okay. CRS is lower level of resource which is responsible for monitoring. Because CRS is upper stack. I told you 2 times, and you are saying CRS is lower level. OHAS is lower level. Okay. So then second will come cluster synchronization services, that is CSS. So CSS manage the when a node join or leave the cluster. If you are using suppose certified third-party cluster, so CSS process interface with your clusterware to manage node membership information. So the CSSD agent process basically monitors the cluster and provides IO fencing. So this service formerly basically was provided by Oracle Process Monitor Daemon, that is OPROCD, but now it is changed and it is also known as Aura Fence Service on Windows. So when now it is called as CSSD agent. So whenever CSSD agent failure may result in Oracle Clusterware restarting the node. So whenever your CSSD agent fails, Oracle Clusterware will restart the node. Clear? So CRS is clear or CSS is clear? Now Oracle ASM, third component. As we know that Oracle ASM basically provides the kind of storage to RAC or Clusterware, which is Oracle recommended storage. So basically it will use to disk management for Oracle Clusterware and Oracle database. Got it? So ASM we have, I have added many chapters for ASM. So basically my focus is Clusterware, ASM and RAC. So these three components combined and work for your RAC. Okay, so I will go one by one. So another one is cluster time synchronization service. So CTSS is basically manage the time between the nodes. Okay, so in Oracle Clusterware, we have two types of method by managing the time. One is OS-based component and another one is Clusterware-based component. So Clusterware-based component is your CTSS. So Oracle said that use this this service for RAC. Don't go for OS level. Okay, that is NTPD, right? Today I'm not allowing anyone after 10:05. Okay, so I have logged the meeting. So that's why people take care of this training as a serious, because in free training, people, working professional, take it lightly. Okay, so I don't want those type of guys who are taking this training lightly. So that's why today I have logged the meeting. So maybe next time they will give importance to this training. Okay, so yeah, where we event management. So the fifth component or services, basically in RAC, all work is done by the services, and that's why I am telling these services, and these services belongs to your CRS, CRSD daemon, means upper stack. So event management, basically a background process that basically whenever event happen in Oracle Clusterware, so which actually Oracle Clusterware create. So these event will manage by this process or this service, and it will publish the event between the node and messages managed by one factor. We have GRD, Global Resource Directory. We have GSS and GES, Global NQ Services. So GES basically come into the picture when messages is transferring between the nodes about the status of the node, about the blog status, and about the log. So these are the things. Okay, so grid naming service, GNS, basically handle request sent by external DNS server, performing main name resolution for names defined by the cluster. So that is GNS, which is the RAC component. And Oracle notification service, ONS, basically publish and subscribe services for communicating fan events. Fan means fast application notification. So that is my last topic, I think, in this training. So we will cover more on that section. And another is Oracle root agent, that is Aura root agent. So basically this process help the CRSD manage resources, and the owner is root. And what are the resources? Network and grid virtual IP addresses. So the CSS, EVM, and ONS component communicate with other cluster component layers on other node in the same cluster database environment. So these components are also the main communication link between the Oracle database application and Oracle Clusterware high availability component. So these background process basically monitor and manage database operations. So please remember that CSS, EVM, and ONS. These three components are more important in this upper step. Clear? Any doubt? Any question?
Sir, just wanted to check, like, will you be explaining everything in depth?
Boss, your voice is breaking. Better to type it so that I can understand.
Will you be explaining each and every component in depth?
Boss, your voice is breaking. That's why I'm saying type it. Okay. Meanwhile, he's typing. Then I will come to later. So now OHAS components. See, basically, audio is depend on both network. If your network is not good, your voice will be break. If my network is not good, so my voice will be break. So better to use the chat room, boss. I request many times. Will you be explain in depth each and every component, boss? In one lecture, I can't tell each and everything. I'm going by my way. Okay. Later we will discuss more on this. I'm just giving the overview of this. Okay. So please have patience. Then when I finish the batch, then you can tell me whether I have covered or not. Okay, so another OHAS. So interview question is that how many CRS component you have. So we have CRS, we have CSS, we have ASM, we have CTSS, we have EVM, we have GNS, we have Oracle agent, we have ONS, we have Aura root agent. So these are the component which belongs to upper stack. Upper stack means CRSD. CRSD means cluster ready services daemon. Clear? Same way, how many components involved in OHAS? That is app agent, cluster logger service, and grid inter-process communication, grid plug and play, multicast domain name service, Oracle agent, Oracle root agent, script agent, system monitor service. So I will give one line definitions to all these. So these are the component which belongs to OHAS, means lower stake. Okay, and basically lower stake manage ASM and Oracle Clusterware. Got it? Now please mute your audio. Okay. So what is app agent? Anyone can try if you are working in RAC. Location of OCR.xml, I will tell you when I will tell about OCR. If we enable the NTPD, not use the CSS and time not sig, then cluster will down. We will discuss in troubleshooting. Yeah, app agent is basically protect any resources of the application resource type which was used in previous version of Oracle Clusterware. Okay, and a cluster logger service basically O-loggered it is called. It receives information from all the nodes in the cluster, and that will persist in grid infrastructure management repository based on the database. So this service basically run on only two node in a cluster. So the cluster logger service manage the operating system metric databases in the grid infrastructure management repository. So basically this is a kind of service which manage the repository which is based on database and in grid infrastructure management. Clear? Now grid interprocess communication, as I naming is said, that is GIPC. This is the daemon basically enable redundant interconnect usage. Okay, so in communication I will talk about more. And GPNP, that is grid plug and play, provide access to the grid plug and play profile and coordinate update to the profile among the nodes of the cluster. And what is the use of that? To ensure that all of the node have most recent profile. So every node has a profile. So this service basically update the recent profile between the nodes for particular nodes. If you have three nodes, you have three profile. So another is multicast domain name service, that is MDNS, basically used by grid plug and play. If you are using grid and plug and play, then this service will come, otherwise not. And this service basically to locate the profile in the cluster, as well as by GNS to perform name resolution. So this service basically help two things. First, to find out the profile, and also if you are using GNS, then in GNS it will perform name resolution. So if suppose anybody is asking who will resolve the name service, name resolution, so you can say that multi domain name service is responsible for that. So that is another interview question. So the MDNS process is a background process on Linux, Unix, and Windows. So this service is basically run on all three OS and by process. Clear? Boss, these theories basically help to understand the clusterware internal component and what activity they do and what will happen when they are not working fine. Okay, so that's why I am giving more time on internal architecture that will help you in troubleshooting. If you don't know each service name and each service usage, each service importance, so how you can troubleshoot the rack? So that's why these theory lecture is also important in rack training. Got it? So Oracle agent is basically Aura agent that extend the clusterware support. Means it will provide additional things to support the clusterware because you have specific requirement, you have complex resources. So this process manage daemons that basically run as the Oracle clusterware owner like GIPC, GPNPD, GIPC daemons. So this process or this service manage these components. And Aura root agent basically a process that help the CRSD manage resources owned by root, such as CHM, cluster health monitor, very important service or component. Then script agent protect resources of resource type other than the application when using shell or batch script to protect an application. Suppose you are writing script to protect the application, then on that time this process will come or this service will come into the picture. Then the last one is a system monitor service, OSysMon, very important process. This process monitor an operating system metric collection service that sends the data to the cluster logger service, the second one, and this service run on every node in a cluster. Okay, so that is all about. Any questions about OHAS stack? So if next time you are appearing for an interview, if interview is asking, tell me OHS component, then you can tell all these. And when he asks about this more detail, then you can tell one line definition to that guy. Grid plug and play is basically a component which I told that will help to manage the profile, and that profile basically for every node, and that profile will tell about the node informations. Okay, so when I will discuss about grid plug and play, then I will tell you more on that. Are there any component which are added, omitted between 11G and 12C? That I will come to later on. What are the differences between 11G and 12C rack, and then we do separate lecture on that. I'm going according to the Oracle University training, and so that is because each and everything cannot I cannot take it in one lecture. Okay, so this is the long journey. When we finish 40 hours or 40 to 60 hours training, then after that you can say that I am RAC expert. Okay, yes, any questions regarding this? Now this table is very important. If you don't know what are the components, if you don't know the process, if you don't know the owner, then how you will troubleshoot? So please remember this table by heart. So we have CRS, we have CSS, we have CTSS, we have EVM, we have GIPC, we have GNS, we have grid plug and play, logger, master, diskmon, MDNS, Oracle agent, OHAS, ONS, Oracle root agent, and sysmon. So these are the component which basically combined component from CRSD upper stack and OHASD lower stack, and CRSD.bin. So that owner is basically root. And when I say OCSSD bin, CSSD monitor, CSSD agent, So these processes basically is for CSS component, and for CTSS is basically use the process octssd.bin. Owner is root, and if owner is not root, then owner will be grid or Oracle. Okay, mainly grid. And EVM, we have evmd.bin, we have evmlogger.bin, and GIPC, we have gipcd.bin. For GNS, we have gnsd, that is root. And grid plug and play, we have gpnpd.bin. And for logger, we have ologger.bin process, owner is root. And for diskmon, we have diskmon.bin. And MDNS, we have mdnsd.bin. And we have Oracle agent, we have ora agent .bin. ohasd.bin, we have root owner. ONS, we have ONS, we have ora root agent, that owner is root. Sysmon, we have osysmond.bin. These are the processes, and owner is root, rest owner is grid. R for root, owner, root is the owner. So by root user, you can manage these processes, not from a grid or Oracle. Got it? So remember this chart and processes name and who is the owner. So that is important. Clear? Boss, send message to everyone, not private. Okay. This is not a private batch. This is combined batch. So whenever you are asking anything, send in to everyone, so that people can see your questions. And when I'm speaking about your questions answered, then they can understand better. So it's my request to all of you. Yes, till now, any doubt? You don't want to see the name of the everyone, Srinivas. I am saying different thing, you are talking different thing. No question? Okay. Then this is just an overview of OCR. I will cover in separate session OCR, OLR, voting disk, global resource directory, GSS, GES. So these 6 components I will discuss separately. But now here overview I am telling. So if you see that OCR, that is Oracle Clusterware repository, which has all nodes information. But later on, we have OLR also, that is Oracle Local Repository, which holds the information for a specific node. So OLR is governed by OCR. Okay. So if you see the figure, every node has OCR cache, and which process is managed? CRSD process, and it has client process also. And you have 2 files, one is primary file and one is secondary file. So cluster configuration information is stored in OCR, and maximum OCR, how many you can use in your rack? Anyone? Interview question. I forget the name of the guy of Indonesia who is my questions. So please write it and send me to later on. So that will be good. I'm asking, tell me the number. How many OCR you can configure or use in rack? 1, 2, odd number, very good answer. 3, 8, my God. 60 answer I want. Boss, is this lecture is boring? because only few people are communicating. One, depend on the number of node. No, Rahmat. Thanks, Khan Saab. No boring. Don't know, sir. Okay, I will tell you. 3, no idea. Okay. 5, please note it. You can have up to 5 OCR. So 5 OCR means 5 locations. Okay, so each OCR location must reside on shared storage that is accessible by all of the nodes in the cluster, and the OCR relies on distributed shared cache architecture. So see that OCR cache is connected in every node, and that basically store the information and update also. So each node in the cluster maintain the copy of OCR in memory, and CRSD will access the OCR cache. So only one of the CRSD process actually read from OCR and writes to the OCR file on shared storage. So see that second node or CRSD process is writing, okay, not the node 1, not the node 3. So if you have 3 node, you have 3 CRSD process, but only one CRSD process will write it on storage. Clear? Now this process is responsible for refreshing its own local cache as well as the OCR cache on other node in the cluster. Okay, so for suppose you have query against the cluster repository, the OCR client communicate directly with the local CRS daemon process on the node from which they are originate. When client needs to update the OCR, they communicate through their local CRSD process to the main CRSD process that is basically performing IO for writing to the repository on the disk. So that's why you can see that all CRSD process of every node is interconnected. Got it? And the main OCR client application are managed by OUI, SRVCTL, Enterprise Manager, the database configuration assistant, the database upgrade assistant, network configuration assistant, and ASM configuration assistant. Okay, so OCR maintains dependency and status information for application resources which defined in the Oracle Clusterware, and it is basically for databases, instances, services, and node application. So a client process, basically you see that it is there in node 1 and node 3. Why not in node 2? Actually, it is there, but because of the explanation of this OCR, the writer did not add client process in second node. Okay, so that's why remember that every node has a client process. Okay, so don't get confused. Clear my point? Thanks, Venkat. Venkat, you have many numbers because you had ping from many number. I am confused. So please use one number so that I can
Actually,
add.
this is I'm using. I joined class through this one only.
Okay. Srinivas, what do you want to repeat?
Hi, Ahmad. Just I want to know like why the node 2 there is no client process. You gave some
See,
reason.
it is there, but because of the this diagram arrow, they didn't add it. So that you cannot understand better. You when they put it here, so you feel that client process is writing, but no, CRSD process is writing in OCR. Okay, so that's why for the sake of clarity of this OCR concept, they didn't add this component here, but actually it is there. So that is
Okay.
my explanation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah. So OLR, as I said that local registry or local repository, not registry. So OLR is basically introduced in which version?
11G release 2.
That's right. Thank you. So in OLR is basically similar to OCR, but OCR is basically contains all node information. If you have three node information will store in OCR. But OLR is specific to node. Okay, so if you have three node, you have three OLR. Got it? Now, why this OLR come into the picture? Basically, Oracle High Availability Services uses the OLR to maintain clusterware resources, and OLR is also located on local storage on each node. So OLR is a registry. It contains manageability information about Oracle clusterware and dependency between various services, and Oracle High Availability Services uses this information. So multiple processes on each node have simultaneous read and write access to the OLR, particularly to the node on which they reside, regardless of whether Oracle Clusterware is running or fully functional. So OLR is local, as I said that in a local node. So the default location is grid home cdata hostname.olr, and the OLR is backed up at the end of the installation or when you are doing the upgrade. So you can manually back up the OLR, but automatic backup are not supported for the OLR. So remember this is interview question. So OLR is not automatically backed up. So you should create a new backup when you migrate OCR from Oracle OSM to other differences. Oh my God, Amit Verma, you were late or you were not listening properly. I tell just few minutes back what is OCR, what is OLR, and you are asking the difference between OCR and OLR. Can anyone repeat?
Sorry, I'm here. Okay. But the concern is what is the main difference between the OCR and OLR? Because both holds the same information, right?
No. OCR store all nodes information.
Right.
Okay. And OLR is
Yeah.
store only specific node information. So that is the difference. That's it. And
Okay.
what
So there is.
information? Your cluster configuration information.
Okay. So
That
just
is
want
all
to know,
about
is there a
databases, instances, services, ASM, like that.
I believe
Your voice is breaking, my dear. I said that use chat room is the better. Okay, ping me later on, then we will discuss. I will not go in that. So now CSS voting disk. OCR is automatic backup. Yes, OLR is not. Yes, what is voting disk? And how many voting disks we can use? And what is the purpose of voting disk? Tell me, guys. I believe there are more number of keys are as compared to VLR.
Voting disk
Sorry.
maintain the node numbers between the cluster nodes.
We can use odd number of voting disk, okay. But what is the sense of using odd number? First, tell me what is voting disk and what is the use and importance of voting disk in RAC, and why, how many numbers we can use for voting disk, that is, and why we use odd.
Yeah, Ahmad by Venkat here.
Sorry.
Venkat here.
Okay.
Voting disk means maintain the node members between the cluster nodes.
Maintains the node member, okay.
And where main the odd number of means that is depend on you are using ASM, na? That time you are mention the normal and high. Depend on that one you are mention the odd number of voting disk, that is 3, 5 like that.
Okay. One line answer, a boss. Heartbeat mechanism. Okay. Can anyone try, or should I give the answer?
CSSD monitors the liveliness of the node through disk heartbeat or network heartbeat.
Okay.
Means it records its information in the voting disk. Like it is alive. So heartbeat information.
See, the one line answer is that basically this is a service which determines basically node existence, means which nodes in the cluster are available. Okay, so that is one line answer. Please remember that. Clear? Don't give high level definition or answer. Okay, one guy said that this manage network and heartbeat. So what is all about? So voting disk is basically used to determine which nodes are available or which nodes are exist in the cluster. So how they will know? They will ping. Voting disk will ping to each node, and also each node ping to voting disk, and also each node will ping to other node. So see the diagram, boss. So in diagram, see that CSS is sending the heart to voting disk, and CSS is sending the heart to each other. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 node. So node 1 can say voting disk think that 1, 2 node 1, 2 and 3 is there because they are pinging to voting disk, and they are pinging to voting disk, and also they are one node 1 can see node 2 and 3, node 2 can see node 1 and 3, and node 3 can see node 1 and node 2. Okay, so this is the way your voting disk work. Now clear or any doubt? Yes, कौर साहब आपका आंसर ठीक था. Kaur has given correct answer. Yeah, no doubt. Should I go to next? Okay. Is it a service or file? You tell me. मैंने स्टार्ट उसी वर्ड से किया था, आपने ध्यान नहीं दिया. सुजीत, फिर प्राइवेट भेजा आपने बॉस. Whenever you are asking the question, send into everyone. See, you can call as service as well as you can call as file also, because voting disk is there. So अरे भाई कंप्लीट तो करने दो शान, आप स्प्लिट ब्रेन पे पहुंच गए. मैं आ रहा हूँ 1 to 1. भाई आप लोगों को इतनी जल्दी क्यों है? अभी मैं फास्ट पढ़ाता हूँ तो अपनी फीडबैक में आप लोग लिखते हो कि आपका स्पीड बहुत फास्ट थी. स्लो पढ़ाता हूँ तो आप लोग मुझे पिंग करते हो कि अगला वाला बताओ जल्दी से. क्या करूँ मैं? आप ही लोग बोल दो भाई. आई होप एवरीवन नोज हिंदी except Rahmat. Okay, so now come to second figure. Second figure is see that node 1 is pinging to node voting disk, node 1 pinging to node 2, but node 1 cannot ping to node 3, right? And same way node 2 can ping to 1, but node 2 cannot ping to 3. So the combination is that node 1 can see node 2, but not node 3. Node 2 can see node 1, but not 3. So which node will be kicked out? Answer please on the basis of the diagram. 3. Perfect.
Yeah,
So
node 3.
3 is pinging to voting disk, but 3 cannot ping to node 1 and node 2. So for eviction is required to ping to voting disk as well as to ping to other node also. Okay, in that if it is not, then it will be kicked out, and that will be split brain situation. Okay, so permutation combination is used to kick out the node. So if you see, we have two combination. Node 1 can see node 2, node 2 can see node 1. So 1 and 2 or 2 and 1. So in that both are used 2 times, but 3 is not there. But voting disk can see 3, but each node cannot see the 3. So that information will go to voting disk, and then voting disk will be then node 3 can understand I have been evicted, so better I would be stopped. Clear? So node 3 can no longer communication through private interconnect, and other nodes cannot see because it's heartbeat and evict the node by using the voting disk. Now clear, Shan? So the primary purpose is to help in the situation where the private network communication fails. So this is the another line you can add in voting disk, that voting disk is also help in that situation when private network communication fails. So we know that private network is used between the nodes that we called as interconnect also. So the voting disk is then used to communicate the node state information, used to determine which nodes go offline. So without the voting disk, it can be difficult for nodes to determine whether it is facing a network failure or whether the other nodes are no longer available. So that's why this is a file which stores those information, and it would then be possible for the cluster to enter a state where multiple subcluster of node would have unsynchronized access to the same database file. So that's why this is not good for the RAC. So that's why node 3 can no longer send heartbeat to node 1 and node 2, and when others can no longer see node 3 heartbeat, they decide to evict that node by using the voting disk. So when node 3 reads the removal message or kill block, it generally reboot itself to ensure that all outstanding writes IO are lost, so that corruption will not happen. Now clear? Last line, please remember that. बताओ भाई, अभी तक के लोग बैच में आ रहे हैं. What time it is? 1 hour passed. My time was 10 o'clock. Okay. Now clear voting this or any doubt? Thank you. At least one guy can respond so that I can understand. I am connected, or my PC is connected with you. Node is evicted based on time duration. As I said, Rajendra, as I said this line to you, boss, my request, don't ask any hypothetical question.
No, just I'm asking whether it should, because
Please,
when we should know that a node has been evicted.
see, the eviction is based on the pinging of heartbeat. Okay, the first thing. So every node will ping each other, and every node will ping voting disk. So for the eviction or not eviction, we required both pinging. If any one pinging is not happened, then it will come into eviction. Now clear? So here node 3 cannot ping node 2, node 1, but node 3 can ping voting disk, but that is not used. So this is AND combination, not OR combination. Logical operator, you know, AND and OR. So here both the conditions must be fulfilled. Every node should ping each other, and every node should ping voting disk. Then they will exist. Otherwise, if anyone is missing, they will be kicked out. Now clear?
Yes, clear, Ahmad bhai.
Okay. भाई आज तो बहुत धीमा पढ़ा रहा हूँ मैं आप लोगों को, क्योंकि these concepts are very important, so that's why I'm going very slow. Now tell me, maximum voting disk is supported. How to check peak frequency from OCR to OSS, that will come to later on. Yes, answer please. 3. सपोर्टेड कितने हैं वोटिंग डिस्क? ओरेकल ने कितने नंबर्स दिए हैं मैक्सिमम? 2n+1. नो, ये फॉर्मूला काम नहीं करता है भाई शंकर. बीच बीच में मैं हिंदी बोल सकता हूँ ना? 7. ओ माय गॉड भाई, इतनी देर इंग्लिश बोली नहीं जाती है मुझसे. मैं पक्का हिंदुस्तानी हूँ तो हिंदी प्रेफर करता हूँ. R-Core has given right answer, that is 15. So 15 is, अरे भाई कौन अपना कैमरा अटैच कर रहा है मेरे से? Yes, 15 is the maximum supported by Oracle. Okay, but we can go with 3 or we can go up to 5. So basically, if you configure voting disk and Oracle ASM, then you do not need to manually configure the voting disk. Depending on the redundancy which you are using for this group, the appropriate number of voting disks are created. So you don't require any headache for creating voting disk. So got it? Voting disk number will based on your redundancy which you are using for your disk, normal, high, external. Clear? So this is another interview question. अरे भाई कौन प्राइवेट कर देता है मेरा ये? Clear guys? So if you do not configure voting disk on Oracle ASM, then for high availability, Oracle recommend that use at least 3 and physically store on separate storage, just like as multiplexing. So if you configure single voting disk, you must use external mirroring to provide redundancy. Clear? But Oracle say that use minimum 3 and supported 15. But if you want to ask maximum, then Oracle say that boss use up to 5. Okay, don't go with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But they supported 15. But they recommend use 3, or if you required more, then up to 5 you can use it. Clear? अभी नंबर याद रहेगा आप लोगों को? I'm generating the report for every my session. Okay, those who are present in my every session, I will go with them. Rest I will remove, or I will restrict, or I will ban those guys. Okay, because I want serious people in my training. Okay, so please remember that. Yes. So what this diagram is showing, what you are understanding? Yes, Anzar Khan, minimum 3, go up to 5, supported 15. Clusterware startup process, yes. In interview, they ask, tell me the Clusterware startup process. So who can tell me? You are experienced working guy. Those who are fresher or not working in RAC, they cannot answer, not required. But those who are working, more experience, can tell that. No one? Okay, in first level, how many processes start? Tell me those names. That are only few. Because Clusterware startup process is level based, level 1, level 2, level 3, like that. True process in level 1. Okay, Chandra, thank you. At least you answer. OHASD start first. Okay, वो तो सामने ही दिख रहा है भाई. CRSD, CSSD, PHAD, ये कौन सा प्रोसेस है भाई? अंदर OHSD. So see that there is one script which is used to start the Clusterware process. So that script is init.ohasd. Another interview question. Okay, and then which daemon will come into the picture? So first OS process will come, that is init process. Okay, so first init process will come into the picture. Then after that your OHASD process will come into the picture. So for cluster wise, you can say OHASD, the first process. But overall, if you are saying, then you should say init process, that is OS process. Now clear? Clear this line? Or should I repeat?
Clear.
Okay. And this Oracle cluster where we have how many? 16. So these 16 process will start level wise. So let's move on to another PPT. Let me see what is the time. ये क्या लिख दिया भाई? भाई तुम कहीं और जा रहे हो? GY क्या नाम है आपका? GY Grish, boss, my request is that whatever I'm telling, ask the question in that, right? And rest we will discuss later on when I do that topic. Okay. You said that Oracle book D81246G Zen 10 chapter troubleshooting Oracle clusterware. Golden rule is debugging Oracle clusterware. In this, Oracle suggests that the best recommendation is to synchronize nodes using network protocol. Why Oracle suggests this? When I do NTPD or CSS, CGSS, then we will discuss that time finish. Okay. Please mute. So just give me 2-minute break. I want to take a water, and you also can take a 2-minute break. Then we will come back. Okay. Yes. How should we answer the clusterware startup process? There is a trick by that you can answer, otherwise you can't answer. So for this figure licensing, I don't know, boss. During the installation of Oracle Clusterware, so basically the init.ohasd startup script is copied to init.d. So this wrapper script is responsible for setting up the environment. Another question, interview question. So this script will set up the environment and uh, uh, and and then starting the Oracle Clusterware daemon and processes. Okay, and the Oracle High Availability Service daemon is responsible for starting in proper order, monitoring and restarting other local Oracle daemons include CRSD daemon, which manage clusterware resources. When init start OHASD on clusterware startup, OHASD start three process. The first one is Aura root agent, CSSD agent, and Aura agent. So this is the level one when this process will be started by OHASD. Okay, and as I said, some daemon will come under the root. Okay, and other will be run under the clusterware owner. If your clusterware owner is grid, then it will come under the grid. Many people create only Oracle user, then on that time Oracle user will be the owner, but better practice is create grid user. Okay, and when command is used to start Oracle clusterware, the daemon will be stopped, but the OHSD process will remain running actually. Clear? So see that Oracle Clusterware is started when OS init daemon calls the init.ohsd startup script. In OLF5, it is init tab. In OL6, it is Oracle -ohsd dot configuration file. So basically, these are the files which set up the environment, which start the daemon and processes as well. So please remember that in OLF5 name is different, in OL6 Oracle Enterprise Linux actually. Okay, clear? So if you go to level 1, so these are the four process. So first start init. Init will start OHSD. OHSD start with CSSD agent, Aura root agent, Aura agent, and CSSD monitor. So CSSD agent, CSSD monitor, Aura root agent, Aura agent. So in level 1, four process will start. Okay, clear? And one sub process will started, that is OCSSD, which is started belong by the CSSD agent. Clear? So this is then next level Aura root agent will start these six process: OCSMON, OLOGERT, CRSD, DISCMON, ACFS, OCT, SSD. Okay, then next time the CRSD, which is Aura root agent tree, it will start again Aura root agent and Aura agent. So don't get confused by these two. So one OHSD, one start Aura root agent and Aura agent, and again CRSD will start Aura root agent, Aura agent. But this is different and this is different. Okay, so don't get confused by these names, which comes under OHSD as well as CRSD. And Aura root agent will start node VIP, scan VIP, network, GNS VIP. So it means CRSD or a root agent will manage network. Clear? And then CRSD Aura agent will manage ONS, ASM instance, listener, node listener, database instance. So CRSD Aura agent basically manage the instances and listeners and Oracle notification service. Clear? And then Aura agent of OHASD will start a GIPCD, MDNSD, EVMD, SM, GP, and PD. So this is basically grid plug and play, event management, and ASM. Okay, and yes, so this is the startup process. So when I say that OHASD is responsible for starting in and monitoring and restarting the Oracle Clusterware domain, which up to CRSD daemon, which turn manage Clusterware resources. So whenever cluster node boots or Clusterware is started on a running Clusterware node, the init process start OHASD. OHASD process start basically CSSD agent, which in turns start OCSSD, and OCSSD process basically discover the voting disk. If you see the first slide of the process, so basically this process is find the voting disk. Oh, sorry, disk. Okay, voting disk either in ASM and shared storage, and then join the cluster. And CSSD agent process monitor the cluster and provides IO. So this service formerly was by OPROCD. Now it is deprecated, and CSSD agent, if suppose fail, then Oracle Clusterware restart the node or it will not restart the node. Tell me. Another question. If CSSD agent will fail, then what will happen? CSSD agent of OHASD. Yes, Jitendra, absolutely correct. It will restart the node. Now, Aura root agent is started. This process is specialized Aura agent because it helps CRSD start and manage resources owned by root. Okay. And such as network and the grid and virtual IP address. And the Aura agent process is started. It is responsible for starting process that basically need to be run as the root. So remember that Aura agent need to be run under the root. So Aura agent process basically provides extended support to Clusterware, which basically fan event. So whenever fan event occurs, this process will come into the picture. In 11.1, it was known by RAC-G, but now it is Aura agent. And the fourth one, CSSD monitor, is started and it is responsible for monitoring the OCSSD daemon. So basically this monitor will monitor this process. So this first slide is clear or any doubt? So in level 1, you can say init process will start OHASD. OHASD will start 1.4 process, that is CSSD agent, CSSD monitor, Aura root agent, Aura agent, and CSSD agent also start OCSSD, which is access or find out the voting disk. Clear? Clear? This is the way you can answer. एक्चुअली मैंने बहुत बार बताया है तो इसलिए मुझे याद हो गया है. आप लोग भी प्रैक्टिस करोगे तो याद हो जाएगा. देयर इज नो रॉकेट साइंस इन दैट, but try to understand what actually it is doing and what will happen when it fails. Okay, so if you remember these two concepts, then you can easily learn the startup process detail. Now clear? बॉस, मेरी अभी एक कॉल आ गई है मीटिंग की, तो आई एम गोइंग टू अटेंड. आई डोंट नो हाउ मच टाइम इट विल टेक. So it is almost we did 1.5 hour. Okay. So actually I was totally busy today and yesterday also, but it was long pending and long gap between the sessions, so that's why I had shifted to morning. So as I said earlier, according to my time availability, you need to manage. Okay. I'm sorry for that. That I have said in the starting, because I'm also working and I have lots of work. So that's why I don't want to miss today. So that's why I shifted from evening to morning. Okay. OHSD I starting all lower stack only, correct? You tell me, Srinivas. तब बता दिया, फिर आप वही चीज पूछ रहे हो. Sorry. Actually, yesterday I worked till 4 a.m. and after that I did not sleep. Yes.
Thank you, Ahmad bhai. Thank you very much, yeah, for your effort. Thank you very much.
Thank you for attending and taking interest, asking the question. So that will be good for training if we do both two-way communication. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Because
Thank you.
online training is very boring because I'm not physically there, and also I'm not opening my webcam. Okay, so that's why communication is important for this type of online training. Otherwise, if I am speaking, it is not good for me as well as not good for you.
No, you are taking,
So,
you're taking so much pain for us also, because till the night you are
It's
working.
my
No, thank
it's
you. You're taking so much
my
initiative and effort.
passion.
Okay,
It's
thank
my
you, yeah.
passion.
Jazakallah. Okay, thank you.
It's my passion to share the knowledge. So it's my passion. So don't say thanks and all. Okay. Uh, if you are getting something that is good for me, so you can remember me.
Yeah, यार दुआ तो दे सकते हैं ना आपको.
Yeah, that is important. If you will
Yes,
pray for
yes,
me,
yes.
that is my requirement for these
Yes,
days.
definitely from my heart. Okay, Jazakallah.